A game of chess with my friends takes about 10 to 15 minutes. A game of chess in the World Championships can last up to 6 hours, and sometimes it takes more than 40 minutes for just one move. Are these guys lazy, or are my friends and myself the next world chess contenders?
We are back, baby! We are fucking back!
Today, I will be talking about how the apparently lazy programmers outperform everyone and how you can use these lazy techniques as your tactical advantage. Let me start with a stupid example. Let's say a customer is paying us to code something that prints a million numbers on the screen. Now, you can print out 1 million numbers by writing out a print statement 1 million times. Or you can print out 1 million numbers with a simple for loop. The question is the customer getting more value with the first approach just because he gets more code? And is it justified to call the second approach lazy? This is overly simplified, but it pictures what is happening all the time in the workplace. It's like the chess game. Making a lot of moves in a short time frame doesn't mean shit. Chances are you have no idea what's going on and you're just generating bloatware. People have to understand that busy time does not equal productive time. I mean, there are people who are considered lazy and yet somehow they outperform everyone else by just doing less, right? In every competitive activity, doesn't matter if it's basketball or chess, you have tape or game analysis. What you will see is that these apparently lazy people spend significant amounts of time analyzing their game. The same thing happens in software engineering. There are people who spend most of their time coding, but never take a step back and do some tape analysis. Mass producing code is not productivity, it's
Stupid up in here!
I will talk about some of the characteristics of lazy programmers and how you can use those for your advantage. So that brings us to my first point: writing less code. If someone gives you advice like code non-stop, code all the time, you already know they have no clue what they are talking about. Every single line of code is a liability. This sentence is on my Mount Rushmore of software wisdom. Having more code is not an asset. It's not like you're building houses. Coding non-stop might work if you're doing some school project or trying to figure something out. In a professional setting though, you will mass produce code that has to be taken care of. It's like mass producing children. You can do it, but you have to take care of them, or they will eventually turn to Java. On a surface level, it appears like the lazy guys are doing less, but the best programmers try to solve issues with a minimal amount of code, and that's what you should be striving for. If some extra code raises the maintainability and readability, then it's fine, but code for the sake of code makes zero sense. You also have to understand that the life cycle of a line of code does not end by saving the file or pushing it on a branch. Everything has to be tested, documented, maintained, validated, and certified. And that's the reason why you don't want to mass produce code just because it doesn't cost much to write it down. Now, if you want to write less code, you need to think it through before you even write your first line. By setting the project structure correctly, you can already eliminate half of the unnecessary garbage. Focus on reusability and maintainability. It is very easy to code a lot of garbage. The art is how to produce minimal code that covers everything you need. Reinventing the wheel is a waste of time. Imagine your car is broken and you bring it to the workshop to get it repaired. Now, the mechanic, instead of using the tools he has, he starts first by crafting a new hammer like a blacksmith in the Middle Ages, because in his opinion he can make a 2% better hammer for the task. Now, instead of getting the car fixed in a day, it will take 2 whole weeks and will cost 10 times as much. Crafting your own tools is okay in some scenarios. Let's say there's no tool available on the market for that task. Or if the tool would speed everything up by 50% and reduce the cost by, let's say, 80%. But it makes absolute zero sense reinventing everything for the sake of showing people that you're able to reinvent stuff. Also, you don't want the responsibility to manage, maintain, and test the tool. If you commit to keep the tool alive, it will only come with huge costs over the years. When someone starts with, "Why don't we develop everything by ourselves?" you already know they don't have much experience. If it doesn't give you competitive advantage, it is better to buy something off the shelf than reinventing it for 10 times the cost. So, if someone is using libraries, packages, tools and so on, it does mean that they are lazy or don't know how to do it. Using something that has already been proven to work comes with a lot of benefits. It removes the maintainability cost, reduces time to market, and is usually better tested than something that has been coded last week by your new junior developer. Delegation and collaboration. You will not lose your dignity if you delegate some tasks to someone or ask someone for collaboration. With delegation, I don't mean go around and assign your tasks randomly to other people who don't want to do it. What I mean is, if you have an expert in a team for software architecture, it makes absolute sense to ask them nicely if they would like to take a look at the architecture that you have developed. They will give you feedback and insights that would take you weeks to figure out on your own. Also, always be open to help other people if they ask for your opinion or ask you to review something. You have only 24 hours, don't act like you're some kind of superhero. Therefore, having a good network of people can massively elevate your productivity. Automation over job security. Spending 10 hours to automate something that is done once a year and manually takes 10 minutes is stupid. But doing the same task over and over again manually every day just to make look like you are busy is even more stupid. I know people who actively don't want to get rid of manual tasks just to keep their job. I mean, they think they are securing their job by doing it this way, which is even more depressing. Lazy people like picking development phases apart and automating their daily business. Doesn't matter if it's an automated build test environment or an automated documentation. The second reason why you should automate things is, once automated properly, it becomes less error prone compared to when you do it every day manually. By automating the right stuff, you will unlock more free time for yourself. This is especially a good strategy if you are freelancing or doing client work. Once automated, it will pay off for years. So that's it for today. If you like the content, hit like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Tariq 10x.